They're both.
Oh, okay.
I think this is the final.
Oh, so
Yeah, this is the final game.
wow.
Final game.
Oh yeah, it's 2-2. Okay. Yeah, I joined late, so I don't know. Cracked opening by S1GuN.
Oh yeah. I just looked at the field, and that field is looking amazing. Bro, Sek, this is gonna be history. Is the #1 player going to have the #1 player title and a tournament win?
I think we might be looking at it, dude. I don't think I'm not too sure if S1GuN has a tournament win before. I know he's like barely entered tournaments usually because ranked has always been his main objective. He has always like I've seen him enter some and have good results, but I'm not too sure if he's won a tournament before. So yeah, he might be making history of being like he might be. Is he the only? Actually, I think Sararu, former #1 player, might have had a tournament win.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be in like that top 3 players that have been #1 and a tournament win at the same time if he can win this game right now. But
Exactly.
SE also has like a pretty good board stay, dude. Pichu, Swablu, and Oricorio.
We do have over 100 people that signed up, so this is actually pretty good for like a Wednesday or day. But
Oh yeah, I think 100 plus is that sweet spot, which is like that perfect number, especially for like a last minute tournament that you just decided to host.
No, exactly. We hosted 2 tournaments today. So, we're making history. The Ericko x SoFlo tournament series. It is insane. With the HVK.
And another one tomorrow that you should sign up for if you guys have nothing to do on Christmas Eve, early afternoon.
Yes, chat. We are hosting another tournament tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.
So S1GuN did put the energy on the Mega Absol. I think he's basically preparing to maybe send it in and trying to delete something like a Cyrus if a Dragon Alteria does come in for the aggressive play. Which I like,
right.
Eliminates the late game option. And yeah.
So, since we have 111 people here, I do want to make this announcement. Tomorrow in the tournament that we are hosting, we are going to give top 8 prize cards. Top 8. We're going to give you guys, best prize pool. Let me just give you guys a little spoilers. 2 full art copycats is going to be on the table. I'm not going to give any more spoiler until we post the rest of the prizes, but SoFlo will be putting that information in the chat for you guys. Top 8 will get prize cards. Okay.
So, SA has played a passive last turn by basically just taking time to set up. So he does have an option of a Mega Alteria as well as Dragon Alteria now. It looks like he doesn't have a Dragon Alteria in hand. Because I feel like you would have rather have gone into that. If maybe he's doing this because he could swap out into it so he doesn't have to take the 50-50 coin flips at the end of the day.
Right. But he is in a situation where he's gonna get the first blood on Mega Alteria, and he's gonna do 100 damage here.
Yeah, I'm not. Obviously, we don't know what's in SA's hand, and I've honestly, he's the expert at that Dragon Alteria deck. I've never played a game of that in my life. So,
And he's gonna rip a card. He's gonna get card knowledge, and he's gonna rip a card from his hand.
Oh, so he.
Double May.
Could he have not used the May last turn, or did he use something like a Professor Research?
I'm gonna be real with you. I was advertising.
It does look like he had Professor Research last in the Discord pile.
I'm not going to lie. This is looking strong for S1GuN right now.
I think S1GuN is gonna. Unless SA specifically is gonna red card a 2-card hand. I guess this is a little bit of a spoiler.
That was.
But obviously, we know SA isn't watching the stream because he wouldn't do that. This just looks like S1GuN's win, bro.
It really does, because like we already confirmed that he doesn't play any hand disruption, right? Or does he?
He does play a red card, but I don't think he's gonna red card a 2-card hand.
Oh no. I'm gonna call that pulling the S1GuN when I when I red card a 2-card hand.
I don't think he's. Yeah, dude, this is just not good. I mean, he did attack of Absol. I honestly can't remember if he had the red card in the hand.
He did not. He did not. This is over. This is cooked.
Yeah, this is just over.
S1GuN is going to be the champion of this tournament.
Welcome, punch!
Mega Alteria is all set. S1GuN won his tournament. GG's to S1GuN. Yo, props to. Let's go. Get hype, chat. Let's see who's gonna take this. So we have in 2 swap blues, a Pichu. We have Chingling, Magnezone drawing into Chingling and Darkrai. Double Pokeball here. Getting the Mega Absol. Thinking about dropping that. Now, giving the energy to Mega Absol, and I believe we're going to go in for 10 damage in order to stop the opponent from playing any item cards. This could be pretty huge. This could be pretty huge. Guys, who's your money on? Who's your money on, chat? If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to like the stream. Let's go, let's go. Sub to the channel as well. For both decks, W both decks, right? I do like both decks. They're well, at least the Alteria one is super unique, I'd say. Bo is trying to figure out SA's trying to figure out what to play, because like he's in a situation where this Mega Absol could definitely start taking advantage on the field real quick. Not going for the sleep here, but we have Mega Alteria coming out for sure. Does he have Oricorio? Does Oricorio even matter at this point? Doesn't look like it, but we're playing a little more conservative with our hands. Going to drop a Magnezone here. I think that was a top deck, or that was kind of crazy that he got that. Now thinking about what he wants to do, because if he gets greedy and attacks with Mega Absol here, he could get punished and he could get hit for 100 damage from a Alteria, but at the same time he won't have a follow-up play with the Mega Alteria, because Mega Alteria won't have any energy. But at this point too, you know, you could definitely keep trying to shut him down because he's not seeing any other basic Pokemon. But it looks like the Darkrai is coming out. We're gonna get the 20 ping here, and then going for the 10 HP, getting the knock on the Pichu, forcing him to use an attack on the Chingling if he has the regular Alteria in hand. Now, one thing you gotta realize, it only has 120 HP when it comes out, so it already has taken 20 damage. So let's see, or 10 damage, I'm sorry. So it's gonna have 110. So it really depends on what happens, whatever he does on his turn. Is he gonna just charge the Mega Alteria and then put Chingling to sleep? That could be another option here, because it's a colorless type of strategy here. But going into the Sabrina, what card to play right now? It's gonna pressure him to, you know, put something out on the board, Because if he puts Magnezone, he's threatening Alteria here, and then he's not going to have that follow-up play. But nothing on his board is going to be able to take out that Alteria, which, there we go, 110 damage, free on, what do you call it, the Magnezone, which is insane. That was an amazing play from S right there. Pichu coming out as well. Interesting. Boom. Getting the first point is crucial here. Now at this point, S1GuN doesn't have anything to take out that Oricorio besides using you know, Darkrai at this point, right? But at the same time, you know, you gotta find a way to that Magnemite in order to proceed. This is looking insane, I'm not going to lie. Coming in with Chingling, Copycat. Clement coming out. That's kind of crazy. He did flood up his field, but it is gonna lose one Pokemon. But at the same time, the revenge kill could definitely come with you know, Darkrai EX. But at that point, you really do have Mega Alteria that could really just come in and start swinging, or he could just come in with Pichu, and Pichu could definitely set up the Oricorio, and knowing that they'll put him in a bad position, so he won't be able to use the Chingling that's on the board whatsoever as well. So this is insane, bro. This is insane. It looks like SA is gonna take game number 1, going for his own Copycat here in order to set up for the next turn. Setting up Mega Alteria for the follow-up play. Yeah, it was well played by SA. SA did play like a champ in that. He definitely had multiple ways. But seeing the Magnemite here would be a little bit too late. He does not have access to the Magnemite. He's gonna be forced to be put in a situation where he's gonna have to lead out. He's gonna lead out with Darkrai, right? Leading out with Darkrai is gonna get you you know, kill that you need from this Alteria, but at the same time, you're just in a bad spot no matter what you do here, because you can't abuse the extra 20 damage and attack with Mega Absol here. You're kind of in a messed up position. But now I'm really interested to see what SA would do here, because if he puts Pichu and charges Oricorio, that means, you know, he might have Cyrus or something like that, right? Or, you know, like, there's just like many things. He already wasted a Sabrina, which was like clutch Sabrina, I'm not going to lie. He could switch into the Alteria and just put damage on this and then just win with Cyrus if he has access to Cyrus. That would be very telling, and, you know, it would give S1GuN a way to respond to him. So going into the Professor's Research, drawing 2 cards, going to red card himself so that Alicia is not going to get the Magnemite. Doesn't draw to Magnemite, but Sabrina is here. Sabrina is here. Alright, we're going to go into an aggro play. This kind of seems like he probably has access to the stars, but overall I think this was the right play. This ain't looking good for S1GuN, but you could definitely use Sabrina here. But the problem is, you send out Oricorio, you're not really gonna be doing that much damage, right? So he's still in a very bad situation here. You could force the Sabrina. No, not even. he does have options. I'm not going to lie, chat. He does have options, so there is still room to play here. Never mind. As soon as I said that, we are moving on to the next game. SE. Only if Jimbo was watching. Alright, starting off with the Swablu is pretty strong. Jimbo fan is kind of crazy, but looking like we're gonna get the Oricorio lead. Interesting here, right? Because Chingling is the only thing that could definitely put some damage on the Oricorio. Going in for the Magneton, I mean, yeah, the 2 Magnetons. Thinning out the deck is very important, but looks like he's gonna play a full bench here, potentially. Or probably not. He definitely needs access to probably Pichu or something like that. That's pretty much a good option, right? Seeing the Alteria here, so you could pop off. So going into Professor's research, one thing about SA's playstyle I have been seeing throughout this whole game, he's been keeping a rather large hands. He's not scared of getting red carded. He's not scared of Mars for whatever reason. But the way he's playing, you know, has been working out super big. So this is amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Getting the energy up to Absol. Getting red carded. This is insane. Remember, this is going to be the best of 3. Best of 3. Love me some Dragon Alteria gameplay, always, always, always. This is Grand Finals, by the way. You're not gonna see any Dragon Alterias just anywhere, you know? This is a strong lead right now for S1GuN. He does have a Magneton in the back. He also has another one because of what do you call it? Of the turn 1 Clef. So we know that's there as well. So looking into Licia, Pichu, and Swablu. So that's actually not that bad because you could set up plays with Pichu. Pichu is pretty fast, pretty strong. So giving the energy to Swablu, this could be like threatening the regular Alteria, right? So you just want to put that pressure on your opponent as much as possible. Potentially, probably. I think I've seen him play in other tournaments as well. But I think this is the first time he is in Grand Finals. Oh, best of 5? I'm sorry. Best of 5, best of 5, best of 5. Why do I... Best of 5. So basically, if you win 3 matches, 3 games, you win the whole thing. Sorry, chat. I've been saying it wrong. Yeah, best of 5. My fault. I'm so used to best of 3. We're changing the format. Earlier in our tournament that we had, we've been doing best of 5, and it seems like people like it. I feel like the championship should definitely be a best of 5 because you guys got to scrap it out, you know? All right, we're going to get additional commentary. All right, so right now, hold up. You're able to unmute yourself, right? Just making sure. Oh fuck. All right, hold on. Hold up. I gotta give you the role. Yo, what up?
Yo, what's up?
Alright, hold on. Let me talk real quick.
Yo, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Alright, cool. So what's going on? We have SA from Brick playing against S1GuN. What do you think about this whole matchup?
If I'm not mistaken, so SA is on Alteria, if I'm not mistaken, the Dragon version, and S1GuN is on, what is he on again?
He's playing Dark Mag.
Okay, so I have kind of confliction of interest because I don't want an Alteria to win, but I also don't want S1GuN to win because he's too good of a gamer if he wins. You know, he can't be number one and a tournament winner.
Yo, that is kind of crazy. He is kind of close to having a title, but then again, we do have SA that has the the first game number 1, and this is a best of 5, right? So
True.
we are playing like a true test of skills.
I just now clicked on the stream because I totally forgot to do that, and I just yeah.
All right, yo, SoFlo, is his mic good now? It should be good now. Say something, Seth.
Yeah, testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
All right, word.
I got about. Not looking too good for SA in this situation. Not gonna lie.
Sorry, I was just fixing the settings on the music, but yeah, no. It's not looking favorable for him. He's staring down two Magnezones that are essentially ready to attack. Actually, everything on his side of the field, S1GuN's side of the field, could attack. He definitely needs his tails to land, and he gets the tails, which is insane.
These Swablues always find a way. You know what, man? That is the one gimmick that these Alteria decks do have. The bad news is though, the Swablu might put him to sleep, but because of that Darkrai, the Swablu is on a timer. So SA does have a limited 2 more turns to find his win condition. Whatever he is looking for, which he actually top decks,
did you
doesn't
see that?
say in that. Wait, what? Oh, never mind.
This is insane.
I get it, bro.
No way.
Oh my god.
Yo, that kind of was a jaw drop moment. Like, you were in that middle of that yap, and I don't know, bro.
I forgot he has to have double energy for the Wait.
That is kind of true.
Yeah.
Oh, but he gets it anyways. But you're still in a not favorable position, I guess. Well, let me see. Because, like, he could just come in with a second Magnezone and attack it and put him in a coin flip situation anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
And there's, I wasn't watching the beginning. The S1GuN, I'm assuming he has Sabrina, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that earlier.
Yes.
So it comes down to a 50-50 or a Sabrina. Well, actually, S1GuN has the whole deck, and he woke up. So.
Oh, Cyrus is going to take out the Oricorio, getting him a point. And we have a 1-1 situation.
Either just red card in hand or something like a copycat into like a red card. Can always be a situation. However, I don't think the red card's gonna happen based on the fact that Segun only has 2 cards in hand. It would kind of be kind of awkward to use it.
Yeah. I didn't end up screen sharing, but now we are back. Okay, this is okay. This is okay. The viewers could imagine what happened, right?
Don't worry, they did not miss much.
Yeah, this is basically what the game state was. He just ended up using red card, putting SA down to 3 cards, and used sleep here, but then again, there's still nothing that S1GuN could do here, because, I mean, he could go into Chingling and start attacking, but is that something you really want to do while you have, you know, access to cards like, you know, Magnezone? Fuck it, he's gonna be using it. It would be kind of crazy not to, right?
Yeah, I think S1GuN's in a weird spot right now because, you know, SA can have a brick hand. He only has 3 cards. He just used the May, so he might have like a... We don't know if he has the Mega Alteria. And if S1GuN wants to swap out for the Jingling to preserve the Magneton being alive, he will be energy locked for that turn, and he won't be able to set up on the Mega Absol.
Right. And if he would have done that, he would have done it on the Magnemite for the 1 retreat cost.
Exactly. Which basically says he's just basically banking on 1,
not having Mega.
Him just not having the Mega Alteria, or 2, just not having enough basics with the Mega Alteria, which does make sense with only a 3-card hand. He does have to have 2 basics plus the Mega Alteria, so.
Now, S1GuN is in a position where he has to either find the Magnezone, or who knows? We don't know if he has it in hand. Well, stream-wise, we're not showing the hand, but we don't know. He needs to have access to Magnezone in order to make this kind of matter, because even if he charges and drops in energy, all he could do no damage, but at this point you kind of committed with the Darkrai, and Darkrai pings, it looks like that we're gonna go.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for SA. I mean, he does get the sleep, which is, you know, important if S1GuN doesn't have the Magnezone, but based on the fact that he copycatted a 2-card hand,
yeah,
basically tells you that insane. He is straight bricked up.
And the simple fact that this game is almost over with like 1 Darkrai ping if he doesn't draw a Pokemon is insane.
He has to have specifically Mega Alteria and 3 basics at this point if he even wants to have a chance.
Yeah.
Which is just not possible, so.
May's coming out. We're bringing out Pichu here, swapping into the Pichu, because you definitely do not want to lose that Swablu, because that is definitely a win condition here. But this is unfortunate for him not having another Pokemon, because you do have access to cards like Sabrina.
Yeah, I mean, stream will see. Anyway, wait. Is S1GuN gonna... Oh.
He researched.
Okay.
Holy cook.
S1GuN actually could have won the game right there, but just decided not to. That was a fun fact for everybody. But to be honest, in this position, I don't think he needed to be optimal.
So yeah, basically he could have just like what do you call it? Use the Sabrina, ping, and then swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we are getting more content out of it, right?
Yeah, it might be the famous Japanese BM.
Okay, so what do we have here? We we have a Pichu lead into Magnemite. So as we saw in the last game, Magnemite lead wasn't that bad for S1GuN because he ended up winning that game, right? So then again, he does have a cracked start, right? Because he has the Oricorio that could get energy, but opting in to go for Swablu here, that is kind of crazy.
Exactly. So this does potentially telegraph to S1GuN that he does have a Dragon Alteria in hand.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, it is still, maybe he's just doing it because the Oricorio. At the end of the day, the
Kinda
Oricorios are not
this
the most
matchup.
useful.
Very
Exactly.
useless. But then again,
And the Magnemite lead.
But then
go ahead.
again, in this Magnemite lead, if he did put it in Oricorio, he could get the knockout.
That is true, but he might be thinking about like a, you know, a future game plan. Because if the Oricorio goes in, he won't be able to set up that dual energy on the Swablu, you know, until later in the game.
No, exactly. That was an interesting top deck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, sir.
So chat already saw, people already saw, he does have access to Alteria, so he could definitely evolve into Swablu, right? So, you know, he could start applying massive amounts of pressure, but I think what he's really probably thinking is, should I stack up the Oricorio because of Magnemite? Because of Darkrai, but nope. It looks like we're going to go all in. But he could still retreat this Alteria and do the same thing, but at this point, you just want to apply max pressure on the, Darkrai, right? So
Yeah, I kind of like this play. It is a little bit awkward because you are going to need another attacker. However, just forcing the Darkrai into the active spot, which either forces you to waste 2 energy to retreat it, and then, you know, it's always a Cyrus late game target. I think it's just kind of like the wave.
Okay, sorry about that. Go. I just wanted to make sure everything sounded good.
This is my first commentary gig. I'm actually not getting paid, so if it's bad,
He's just,
I do not apologize.
I don't know if I could say this on YouTube. I'd rather be safe. There's 90 people, so let me be safe.
Alright, so we do see he uses the May, and they can see what the May targets are, right? On stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this May basically didn't do anything.
Yeah. It really basically just put him in a position, where the Pichu won't get knocked out by a ping, but at the same time, you know, it puts him in a situation where I guess the Ori could get the knockout, but then again, he's put in a position where he has to retreat this. He has to retreat. Well, he doesn't have to retreat. He just attacks here, and then he could retreat in the following turn. But he has the Mega Absol.
That is correct. So he has something to swap into next turn. And the Oricorio is going to die from a ping. Although I don't think you're going to be putting that energy on the Darkrai necessarily, as you will, you know, probably want to set up another attacker.
No, of course.
And another Pichu is probably not the best, right? I guess
no, it is actually really good. Because you swap into Pichu. And that's guaranteeing it. Like, obviously, probably you would have guaranteed it regardless. But, like, you could leave the Pichu there, like the damaged one, and then make it look more appealing for him to put the energy on Darkrai. But, you know, I don't think S1GuN's the one that's going to take that bait.
Yeah, it is a little bit awkward, though, because, like, theoretically, you could lose to a... Like, if SA never has, like, a Sabrina or a Cyrus, he could lose to a Cyrus and then Sabrina with the Pichus.
That is really true.
That's, like, worst case scenario of, like, not finding any more basics in the next couple of draws about SA. And, like, the Darkrai has to retreat out. It can't even do any ping damage, and, like, nothing is going to be able to, unless he has like a Magnemite this turn into a Magneton pretty fast. Like he has no answer to this Oricorio for the next
Going
couple
into
turns.
the Cyrus play though.
All right, okay. So this is okay.
Yeah, at this point, I think you have to send Ori
Oh yeah, of course.
red card. That is interesting.
That is.
What?
Actually, at the same time, SA hasn't used the Professor Research, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's Sabrina.
So I think Seagun was. No, but I think Seagun expected he either had Sabrina or Cyrus in hand due to the fact that he hasn't used Professor Research or any other basics. So I think the red card makes sense, but it's still not a good red card at the end of the day because you are giving him 3 cards. Obviously, it gave him the card back because you already had Sabrina, but if it worked, it would have worked. But
Okay, here we go. Starting off with a Magnemite. This is gonna be... That's a great start for them right now. You gotta realize too that Magnezone, Dark Magnezone is insane. Starting off with a red card for his card hand. Then we're gonna opt in for a copycat, getting rid of the Sabrina here. Because you definitely want to be one step closer into getting Magneton. Now, leading off with the Froakie, we do have a Chingling on the board as well. Let's see how this pops off. We do have Mega Absol hitting the field. Is he going to place the energy on Mega Absol, or is he gonna let... Well, at the same time, he's kind of safe with Froakie right now because he cannot attack at this moment. But if he gets the Magneton, this could change real quick. You guys saw that draw, right? So I'm not gonna say anything. But that being said, wondering if he should fill up his board or not. We could definitely put the energy, anywhere on the field right now, but at the same time, that Mega Absol could revive at any moment. Opting to end your turn with 5 cards in hand. Not scared of getting red carded or Mars. Getting into Professor's Research, trying to get that rare candy Greninja out. Seeing the Greninja would be super huge for him right now. Summoning, Darkrai himself, getting the quick ping on, Magnemite. This is gonna be huge for him. But now he gets to play Clement. Oh, he draws into the Magneton anyways. But getting the secondary Magneton is going to be insane here because you get to set up the front, you get to set up the back, and you could really just take control of this game as quick as possible now. Now the game really depends. Do you have access to getting into Magnezone? That's gonna change the tide right now. S1GuN trying to figure out what his next move should be. Should he just keep charging up the Darkrai, or does he want to charge up Mega Absol that he puts on the board? Mega Absol being fully charged, well, 1 charge, but it's going to be able to attack in the next turn. So in this situation, you really did not have to put energy on the Magneton. Here's why: because you could just use the ramp and attach a regular dark energy afterwards, and that way you could just start attacking with Magnezone if you draw into that Magnezone. But does Saigon have it? We don't know yet, but we do have the copycat here. Hopefully that got him closer into getting the Greninja, you know, rare candy Greninja, because that's gonna be huge right now. So now we're just waiting on this right here. Getting access to the Magneton here. Magnezone going in for a quick 110 damage. Now, in this situation right here, definitely go in for 100 damage with Darkrai, but at the same time, I don't think that would be to his benefit. I think switching in maybe into Chingling, right? If you have Chingling out on the field, you could do like 10 damage there and just kind of wait. But then again, you open yourself up to, well, that'll put him to 100 and then you could get the easy 100 damage. But he doesn't have access to the Greninja yet, but we gotta see what happens. But most likely, we are definitely going to see 100 damage on the board. But then again, you know, it does buy him a turn in order to look for this Greninja, right? He can't get this Greninja live right now, which is kind of puts him in a bad situation. But at the same time, he could definitely, you know, just retreat. But, you know, he puts himself at risk for Cyrus. Alright, drawing into the Sabrina, as you've seen, gonna charge up the Magnezone in the back, going into second Magneton and then Magnezone, hitting the energy with Mega Absol. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, right? I'm gonna go for the swing. $90 damage, and you can't guarantee that you can attack in this hand. But going in for the red card here, which is insane. Red card copycat. So getting rid of the red card so you could draw more cards is very important. Really, really important, so you could thin out your deck and you have potential to, you know, just pop off. But as you guys seen, you got the Chingling, Professor's Research, and Cyrus back into his hand, which is going to be really, really good for him. 40 seconds on the clock. What is he going to do? Retreating into Mega Absol. Going to have to commit the attack with Mega Absol. And he's going to get rid of the Cyrus in the hand, so the game is not over yet. So now he has a decision. Does he bring out Magnezone or does he go hand ripping? We're bringing out the Magnezone. He could definitely start swinging with Magnezone here and then just pretty much chill, because I'll put him in a bad situation. But he did end up getting a win condition card here, but it really comes down to what happens here. Is he just get to stay there with Mega Absol, but he still has to coin flip, and everything is one shot on his side of the field. It's looking like it's gonna game number 1 is going to go to Saigon, and then going in for the Chingling for the extra 10 damage. seems like it's the more safer play, right? But at the same time, you know, he does have Sabrina in hand, and Sabrina is going to end the game, and we're going to head to game number 2. The reason I said game number 2 is because no matter what he brings out, right, he's not going to get a crazy KO. He doesn't have access to Greninja. He doesn't have access to do anything. And the concede is there. Now we're getting number 2. Now S1GuNs starting off with the Chingling. And our opponent is... what Mets gonna start with? I mean, ideally for him, he is going second, right? That is not the most ideal lead that you could have, but at the same time, it's not that bad because you could definitely start Charge Energy and get the KO on Chingling, even though that's not the most optimal play. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Going into double Pokeball so you could thin out your deck. Getting the double Magnemite is actually insane, I'm not going to lie. Having access to Clement to get you your double Magnetons is insane. Insane work. He has like the perfect setup here, right? Because now Meta has to definitely like use a hand disruption card. If he could get that hand disruption, he could definitely start popping off. We got Mega Absol coming out on the field. Meta has to find a way to pivot out of this because, you know, the hand knowledge is real. He knows the Magnetons are there, but doesn't have anything to, you know, change that fact. We're going to go into double Magneton here. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to deal with a judge call. Alright, so he ended up taking KO with putting double energy on Darkrai. Alright, so we're talking... I'm answering a judge call right now at the same time as this is going on. Red card hits the field. It is kind of crazy, but... Ah, APS. Yep. Okay, I'll deal with that. Okay, so let me deal with this on the side. Alright. In this matchup, Cerex was playing the fire type, right? He's playing Charizard Entei. Charizard Entei versus S1GuNs Dark Magnezone. Let's see who's going to be able to take this. So, you know, the simple fact that he's starting off with Entei is super strong, and at the same time, you have access to, you know, a Chingling start that's also pretty good. But then again, it doesn't really matter because Entei is going to be able to get you all of the card advantage that you need. So this is looking insane right here. So Sekiro, he did the same thing to you, bro. He did it again to Ken. We gave him a game warning, so he's definitely DQ at this point, right? Because you can't really be doing that. Like, if you're gonna be here intentionally cheating, he probably has been doing it all tournament long. He's been doing it all tournament long. Alright, so we got double Chingling, Pokeball, ended up getting him another Magnemite as we saw. Now the bench is kind of full because he ended up putting a Chingling on the board. In this type of a deck, you don't want to, like, you know, fill up your board with a bunch of nonsense, I would say. He would probably have to kind of bait his opponent to get the first kill with a Chingling, but opting in to go with the Darkrai here, because you definitely want to build the Darkrai. You want one of your heavy hitters, you know, getting ready to swing an attack, going in for another chip damage. This is insanely strong, so now what could the Charizard player do in order to get out of this? He's going to use what do you call it, copycat here, because maybe the hand wasn't looking so ideal even with the card advantage that he had here. So he has access to the Rocky Helmet. It's gonna be good for him in the long run. Going in for the 60 damage, maybe he could ramp this Typhlosion. Maybe he could ramp this Entei all the way up to 120, but doesn't really matter here because he does have access to you know, Chingling. But then again, we got Magnezone and we got the Sabrina that's gonna take care of the Charmander real quick. Retreating into a Magnezone, going to Magnemite, attacking. Insane work. That top deck was insane. Pulling up with Entei here with double energy. Can he get access to anything that's gonna help him, like maybe another Charmander? But at the same time, you know, he could just ping with Darkrai and, you know, get rid of the Entei. It's not looking very favorable for him, but maybe if he could set up this second Entei with maybe a double Flame Patch or one Flame Patch and then swing, that would be super major on his aspect. And he does have the Flame Patch, which might be able to set him up real quick, but it's still not looking that great because he still has to take 90 damage, and Coin Flip is if he's gonna be able to attack anyways. Going in for the Professor's Research at this point to find brand new win conditions. Going in for the 90 into the Entei. Can So Sad Cerex do anything to get out of this? This is looking a little bit crazy. We are in top 4 of the tournament. And let's... Alright. We got Magnemite lead, and then we have a Charmander out here. Next up, we're gonna do Pokeball. Searching him a Chingling, which would be a nice start, but at the same time, you do want to put that on the field because your opponent does play Copycat, and you do not want to be in a position to get copycatted from, but he still has a massive hand, and he already used Professor's Research, so let's see what ends up happening here. We're going to go into the retreat, into the Entei. Entei is going to get the Rocky Helmet treatment, and it's going to get free card for So Sad. Or he could drop the Flame Patch, which Flame Patch comes on, so he could be super aggressive in his next couple of plays here. Getting Sabrina is kind of amazing for S1GuN in this moment, so we're gonna retreat. We're gonna retreat into the Chingling. Interesting. Retreat into Chingling. Go into Magnezone, get the charge, and swing for 10. Which is going to prevent him from playing any of his item cards. But he is thinking on, you know, potentially using the Sabrina he drew. So what is he going to do? What would you guys do in this situation, you know? It is insane. Going into the Sabrina. Attacking the Charmander, making sure he can't use item cards for the next turn, including Flame Patch, which is huge in this game right now. So he's just gonna focus on getting more cards to his hand. Charmeleon coming here with the ramp. It really doesn't matter at this point. Going to Sabrina into the Magneton. Swing here for 60 damage. That's a massive amount of damage here. The Charizard is not folding. Second Magnemite hitting the field, getting the Volt Charge, going to go into Magnezone here to get the 90 damage, but you are going to take 20 damage, so this is looking a little tricky. The Magnezone could get knocked out if his Entei ends up flipping heads. So there's still a lot wrong that could go for S1GuN in this match. So it really depends. Does he want to, you know, potentially risk getting an Entei that could go up all the way to 120? Or is he going to try to get that Charmeleon off the board? Which gets the Charmeleon in the active spot. Which is huge, by the way. Which is huge. Because his opponent, he can't really do anything here. He really can't do anything here. He can't attack the Magnezone. He can't retreat. So that was probably one of the best plays that he could have done in this situation. But he could definitely also evolve into, you know, Charizard. But that wouldn't be the right play. One of the Charmanders is already out. So this is kind of crazy. The brand new Magnezone is insane because of the coin flip, so you guys can't really count that card out yet. But this is actually not that bad if you really think about it, because you definitely, you know, if you have a Flame Patch in hand, right? If you have a Flame Patch and you have a Charmeleon and a Charizard Y, you could actually pop off here. Oh. But are we going to go with the retreat? Going into the retreat so Entei can attack here. He's going to capitalize off S1GuN's not attacking here. Rocky Helmet is still looking nice for him. He's definitely going to charge here. Hitting him for 90 damage. Now, it really is going to come down to, is he going to be able to flip heads here or not? Pokeball coming out. The fact that you have to manually evolve is kind of crazy. And charge up manually at this point. But then again, if the Entei can survive, this is not looking good for So Sad. This is definitely not looking good for him. So many things are not going in his favor right now. But getting into Mega Absol is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. He could definitely retreat into the second one because he does have access to another Magnezone that could definitely start putting some damage here. We're gonna red card the 3-card hand. Maybe this would have been helpful for Sosa, but now he has to think on the fly with his brand new hand and his Entei being knocked out real quick. What can he do to get out of this? Because you're staring down a crazy Magnezone here. I think it's gonna wrap up here. S1GuN just has all of the advantage, but we have the Rocky Helmet. Does he get the Charmeleon? If he gets Charmeleon here, he could definitely start, putting some work on, next. But he still has to flip heads in order to attack. Probably did not see the Charmeleon, which is kind of unfortunate for So Sad Seedax. But right now, he doesn't feel the need to put energy on the Mega Absol right now, so he's just gonna go in for the swing. At this point, this is all you can really do. The only way I can see him getting out of this, he has to flip heads twice and pop off. Is he gonna get Charmeleon is here, and he's gonna be able to put the energy Charizard and get it to attack. But can he flip heads? This 60 is very important. Very, very important for him. Gets the heads and is able to swing on the Magnezone. His other Magnezone cannot swing. His Magnezone swings, it's over. It could be a tie here. It could be a tie. But at the same time, he does have access to Darkrai or Mega Absol in his hand. There's just so much going his way right now. But then again, he does have to attack with Chingling, because if he attacks, he's going to take 50 damage. So he's still in a really bad situation here. Maybe he could charge up the second Charizard, but it's just not looking pretty for him right now. Because if he swings here, right? If he swings here, yeah, it's probably going to be a tie. It's definitely probably going to be a tie. Because he gets the kill here, and then Magnezone comes, and then they both swing, they both get 3 points. Yeah, it looks like we're going to head into a tie. But we got the Charizard going to waste a copycat for 1. And just swing, I guess. That's his only real option here. Or he could just retreat into the Entei and start swinging. Going into the Entei here. Going into retreat into zone. Does he have Cyrus? Was this the right play, chat? I do not think this was the right play. I think he kind of threw. No, actually attacking would have been bad. No, attacking would have been right. No, if he attacked the Chingling, right? Am I tripping? If he attacked the Chingling? If he attacked the Chingling, he would have been in a good position. Because he would have dropped down. The Darkrai only had 1 energy. Yeah, no.